Are you a dental student trying to figure out what is going to happen for your graduation coming up this year? Are you not sure about getting the opportunity to graduate or making sure you have enough credits for graduation? Stay tuned as we talk to a D4 dental student about how he's coping COVID as a dental student. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Dr. Darwin, NewDentist Coach, with another episode of Ask Dr. Darwin on the New Dentist Podcast Show, where we talk about getting into dental school, surviving dental school, preparing for residency, surviving residency, and then also life as a new dentist. Today, we're going to be talking about a very crucial topic, which is your D4 year, graduating, taking boards, getting a license, working, new position, residency, all of that, but now in the midst of COVID-19. So we're going to be joined right now with student Dr. Jordan Brown, who's a D4 at Michigan, and he's going to share a little bit about what he's doing to cope with COVID during this time. What's up, Doc? How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for inviting me on here, Dr. Darwin Hayes.
Hey, man, no problem. We've been trying to link up for a while now. And besides working out at all the dental meetings together and stuff, getting our push-ups.
You have to. That's
right. Besides getting our push-ups on, we're going to get our information sharing on. So make sure you are coping at this critical time.
Absolutely.
For a lot of people. So tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Sure. So my name is Jordan Brown, fourth-year dental student at the University of Michigan. Born and raised in Orlando, Florida. I'm doing an AEGD back down in Florida after I graduate, and undoubtedly COVID-19 has definitely put an impact on all dental students across the nation, and I'm just looking forward to having an open conversation with you today.
Yeah, man. So you mentioned your plans after graduation, so you're going to be doing a residency?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, you're going to be doing an advanced education AEGD down in, you said Florida?
Yes, sir. Down in Tampa, Florida, as a part of the UF Seminole program.
That's great. So congratulations on making
Thank you very much.
Making that commitment for advanced dental education. That's so key. I think I actually think it should be mandatory that you do a residency just as you continue to develop your skill set and your level of confidence as well as a practitioner. So kudos for making that decision.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your progress to date. Like, where are you with your graduation requirement?
Sure. So my school just gave me a email, I think 2 days ago, letting me know that I have finished all my clinical requirements for graduation. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Only thing is, a part of CODA, what they require is, I guess, a timeline associated with your curriculum. So they just have us doing these little online CE classes, basically, just to fill in the last 2 weeks of the year. But besides those online modules, I'm basically good to go.
You got some online modules that you have to do, but you're already walking down the aisle, at least virtually now.
Pretty much. Yeah, exactly.
So those are school requirements. Let's talk a little bit about your board exam. I know, we all know usually it's either a regional board exam that we take as dental students as we transition after school. Tell us a little bit about where you are with that.
Sure. So for me, I'm planning on doing AEGD. So my plan is to just practice with my residency license during residency. And then whenever the CDCA allows us to go ahead and take patient boards, I'll go ahead and just finish the last part of the boards exam I have to take.
So CDCA, you've got a portion that you still have to do, and that's the live patient boards. For those of you that are listening, if you don't know, of course, during COVID, a lot of the board examinations have to be canceled due to COVID and especially the live patient part. But all the test centers, all the locations throughout the country at dental schools have all been on hold and canceled at the time. I know there is some talk about some modifications to those live patient exams that many of the regional boards are discussing now. It's still kind of early as to trying to figure out what is going to happen. There is some talk from some of the sources that I've been in tune with that there's going to be a modification. There's actually going to be maybe some substitution of the live patient part and have it be a mannequin with different types of prepared, different types of teeth to be able to assess things that you would be able to assess.
Yep,
the live patient. So that's coming, and I'm sure everyone's got their ears glued to the to the ground to try to figure out a little bit more of a definite solution or a definite answer with regards to that. So you got board exams you still have to do. So let's talk a little bit more about COVID.
Sure.
So you're at Michigan. So what are they saying at Michigan with regards to this time, as far as not only requirements but graduation, things? I know you mentioned CODA. CODA is the Council on Dental Accreditation, and they accredit all the dental schools. All the dental schools have to abide by certain standards to be able. Well, you have to abide by a certain number of standards that are placed on CODA to make sure, through the Department of Education, to make sure that your schooling, your program, dental school program, is accredited, and that's part of the process. So tell us a little bit about what the school is saying to you.
Sure. So the governor of Michigan, she just extended the stay-at-home order, or the shutdown of non-essential businesses, through April 30th. And so, but even before that, in the state of Michigan went ahead and canceled the commencement, and we're planning now on either doing a virtual online graduation, or we're doing that, and we may or may not do an in-person graduation later on in the summer or fall when essential businesses and the stay-at-home orders are relaxed. Clinic has been canceled through the rest of this semester, so through April 30th or so. Fortunately, I have all my requirements done, so I don't have to return to clinic. And CODA released a statement maybe a week or a few days ago, just issuing a statement that I believe essentially just said that dental schools have the flexibility to change their curriculum as they see fit, I believe. And so with that, I think some students, they haven't finished a filling or a crown or some denture, there's going to be an online assessment or assignment that just replaces that clinical competency. And so I think for most students that are missing maybe one or two things, they can just do these online clinical assignment to make up for that. But if a student, let's say, for whatever reason, they're missing too many stuff, they haven't done enough root canals, dentures, crowns, cleanings, if they're missing a lot of stuff, they may have to come back in the summer or even early fall to make up that difference.
Wow. Well, that's good that there's some flexibility. I mean, that's actually pretty good. You know, I think for many people, especially those that are going into residencies, you know, what that looks like coming back a couple months from now or in the summer to finish some things, I think that's what has a lot of people kind of concerned. Now, keep in mind, you know, you're kind of like the part of the population, the D4 class of 2020 who's doing a residency, but not everyone does a residency. But I think there's a lot more that are doing it now. So my question is, you know, how does this affect your residency? All right, because if some schools are saying that they're flexible on some requirements, but if you have some that are still not done, you may have to come back through the summer. Well, residency start July 1st. So you got that aspect, and then you also have the aspect of residencies making sure part of the commitment for the residency and qualification is that you've graduated from an accredited dental school in North America, right? U.S. or Canadian dental school. So share with us any information that you've received from University of Florida, your AEGD program about this.
Sure. So since our start date is actually in July, they haven't mentioned or emailed me anything specific to us about CODA. We do have kind of our checklist of things to do, like our background check, mailing our transcripts, things like that. But they haven't emailed me anything in regards of any changes to the curriculum. And I think their hope is that, hopefully by July 1st, things may be starting to get back, hopefully, to normal. I think that if this COVID-19 situation continues as it is now or worsens, they may be reaching out to us in a future email. But as of right now, they really haven't communicated anything specific to specific to COVID to us.
Yeah, and I think that's probably due to the fact that CODA also credits residency programs too. So there's different standards for dental schools, different standards for residency programs. So the likelihood that there's going to be some modifications on the residency part of this is highly likely. So they're probably also now your residency program is probably starting to transition and make some of those flexible updates as relates to the program as far as the admission of the incoming residents, because you've got folks that are leaving, and then usually if they're only there for a year, you all that are coming in are part of the medical staff, right? And they have to make sure that you all transition in as the former residents are transitioning out. So
yeah, it's a tough situation, especially for graduating fourth-year students that may not be going into a GPR or AEGD, but if they're going to, let's say, ortho and they haven't graduated dental school yet. Well, if they were supposed to start in July and they have to come back in the summer, it's like, well, now their ortho start date is going to be pushed back, and that's going to cause a whole domino effect of bad things basically happen. So
and that's interesting because people, new residents may have to take vacation time if they have it to go back to school or to finish requirements, and then you've got the whole notion of if you're at the school and then you quote unquote temporarily graduate or partial graduation, when you come back, do you have to re-enroll in the school?
Yeah.
Or are you just going to continue just having extended enrollment? Because you have.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So that's another thing that I think a lot of people are probably trying to figure it out. So yeah, it sounds like you got a lot going on, but it also sounds like you are managing it the best that you can.
The best that I can.
Yeah. So you did mention that with your residency, you don't necessarily have to have a license as a resident to practice, or at least to be a resident at your program. And hopefully, I know Florida is one of those states where they have their own examination board, right?
Yep.
So
So for Florida, every state obviously is different in their requirements to practice. So in Florida, you can, if you're in a residency program with GPR or an AEGD, you can have a residency license, which only requires you to graduate dental school. You don't have to finish all your patient boards. And to get a full Florida license, you have to do all the written exams, and then also, as of right now, the live patient boards, and then also the Florida Laws and Rules examination. So fortunately, I took all the written exams already, including the Florida Laws and Rules examination, which is nice. And so for residency, I already mailed in my residency application. And so all that happens now is after I get my degree and my final transcripts, those will just be sent to Florida. So that way they can approve my residency application.
Gotcha. Well, there may be a window where you may be getting ready to start the residency, maybe without having all that documentation, because I know now schools are going to be probably scrambling to get all the information that they need to get to you guys, regarding, official transcripts, copies of your diploma, all the things that as program directors of residencies, we need to have to put into your application to be credentialed and to get an ID for the program that you're going to be going into. So schools have that burden to kind of wrap up. Nothing different than what they wouldn't do if it wasn't COVID. But at the same time, at mid-COVID, it's just more things that they have to do to kind of, get everything back
Absolutely.
Submitted. So we're
It's
going to
a lot
wrap.
of moving pieces.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving pieces. So one piece I wanted us to have you share with us is advice. Advice for some of your fellow class of 2020, dental school class of 2020 colleagues,
Yeah.
who are experiencing the same issue and the same situation. Any advice for them? Anything you want to share that's been helping you cope with this situation?
I just want to let all the 2020 graduates know that you are not alone. There are thousands, hundreds or thousands of dental students across the nation that are in your exact same situation that you guys are in right now. And don't feel like you have to face any of these problems alone. There's amazing Facebook groups dedicated to D4s trying to get licensed, not only in general, but they have a state by state Facebook group on people in your similar situation. And so for all those fourth years out there, just look up that Facebook group, just D4s trying to get licensed, and then join your state specific group, and just understand that people are all in this together with you.
What's the name of that? I think I've seen that. I think I got an invite. I just can't remember the name. Do you remember the name?
I think it's D4s trying to get licensed during the COVID epidemic.
Okay.
I'll send you an exact name of it too, but I can probably post it in the comments maybe to this video. But
yeah. Well, that'll be good, because I know there are a lot of people that it's probably close to about 5,000. I think it's about 4,000 to 5,000 through all the dental schools throughout the U.S. that are going through the same situation. So that's a good support group. And many people have different stories for their particular school, many of which some of those stories and some of those action plans students can use at their school, at another school as well.
Absolutely.
So
I'm just going to write the name. I'm going to write the name of the Facebook group in the comments so people can see it.
Sounds good. And but you know what, man, we appreciate you sharing your time. I know a lot of us in dental education have a different type of time commitment now with COVID, but we appreciate you being able to share some of the things that you're experiencing and how you're coping it, and would love to see if we can continue this conversation not only after COVID, but as it relates to your advanced dental education residency journey.
Absolutely.
I think we might have a new series that we want to. A new series we can start.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Dr. Jordan's dental residency journey.
I like that.
Talk about maybe a week by week or a month by month documentation of your 12-month advanced dental education journey, and things that you're experiencing, you're learning, and being able to reflect. That might be something worth documenting.
Absolutely. I like that.
Man. So hope for you guys watching and listening, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them down below. Send me an email right here at newdentistcoach@gmail.com, newdentistcoach@gmail.com. Student Dr. Skylark, that's what he's known as. Dr. Skylark, what's the best way for people to get in contact with you?
Yeah, you can message me on Instagram. I'm there every single day. I respond to every single message. And that's my username is just the @ symbol and then dr.skylark, Dr. Skylark.
Gotcha. Well, you guys, if you have questions for student Dr. Jordan or Dr. Jordan, Dr. Skylark, all these names, just call them. Don't make a difference what you call them, but you can reach out to them.
Exactly.
That's great. Hey guys, check out this next video popping up right here. Check out these videos. And again, Dr. Skylark, thanks so much. We're going to be getting that new series coming up soon. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.